Hello, my name is Eva, and this video that I am about to give to you guys has been requested not just on YouTube but both on Instagram or WhatsApp. Like, a lot of you guys are have been asking me how I do this, how I do this, how I do that, and here it is. I decided to make a video so everybody can watch it. I feel kind of nervous because I feel like I am not yet ready to show anybody, but here goes. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about transition videos, like makeup tutorial transition videos, all those our carrots that we used to yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you enjoyed those videos that I just showed you, like about 2 or 3, then come along with me. I still have a lot of this on my Instagram page, so if you're not following me yet, you want to do that, and then come along. Let me show you how I do all of those things that you just saw. So you might want to keep on watching this video to the end. When it comes to transition videos, there are a lot of things that are involved. Now I'm talking about looking for a sound that you would want to use, looking for the kind of movement or motions that you would want to use, and then there is the part where you have to merge everything together for it to come out the way you usually see it on Instagram and on TikTok and every other place. So yeah, I'm going to be running you through these steps, and then I hope you find something that you're looking for and all of that. So let's start. To tell you the truth, this part that you just saw is just something I call the icing on the cake. Yeah, so before the icing gets to the cake, there is a whole lot of work that is in between. There are some steps before the actual video, before the end product. One of the first things you need to come up with is your sound or the music that you're going to be using for that particular video. You can look for this on Instagram or on Reels, and then you look for a way that you can incorporate, that you could incorporate some motions that would fit into the music. I hope I'm making sense, because we want the motion to actually fit the music. All these things have to be in sync. Once you get what you like, you can then move ahead to the next step. Personally, I love to use music or sounds that kind of like have an upbeat most of the time. Sometimes I also use cool toned or actually use cool music also, because those kind of music also brings out some kind of vibes, So secondly, let's go and look for some inspiration. Like we all know, no man is an island, so we have to go look for some inspiration. Pick something from here, pick something from here, pick something from all over the place, and then make it your own. Also get some inspiration from Instagram. I always mention Instagram because I don't know where else. Okay, you could get some inspiration from Pinterest, from TikTok, from wherever. The kind of inspiration you want to get is the kind of inspiration for the kind of movement or for the kind of motion that you want to use in that said in that music that you just found. You can also look for inspiration for the kind of makeup you want to wear, but we're not talking about that. We're just talking about how to get inspiration for your transition video. You could use hashtags to look for some inspiration, and then you can also look for accounts that do this kind of transition videos on their account, and then you can either save those content or just follow the account. Then you can now try to make that video you, as in all those things that you just watched. Try to rehearse, try to look for a way that you can add a little twist just for it to be for you, or not. You could actually do exactly what someone else did. Yeah, it's your choice. Step is for you to practice or rehearse those moves or those movements, those motions that you just watched. Yeah, so this part is something that can be very, very tricky and funny. So what I do personally is I try to practice while I'm making all these moves because this is exactly what I'm going to use to make this video. So I'm going to be practicing it like once, twice, 5 times, 100 times, 1,000,000 times, until you kind of like become perfect in it. So yeah, that is what we're going to be doing, and this would lead us to the 4th step, which is the actual making of the video. So this is where the whole work is in. You'll be learning the way and the technique that I use to come up with all these fun and interesting transition videos that you see. One of the things that you need to know when it comes to transition videos is that you have to make sure that you maintain one position. Like once you're here, you're here. Now this applies to the chair you're sitting on, your tripod, your ring light, your phone, your table, everything that you're using to make that video. Everything has to just be in one position. Most of the time, I mark my tripod where it is. Just in case it moves, I know where to place it. You could mark everything where they are, just so that even if they move, you can actually push them to their initial position. This hustle is very real. The hustle is very real. So let's talk about the main reason why you are here, because I know it's to learn the transitioning and all of that. So yeah, let's get right into this. When you're doing this, what I always do personally is that I break my videos into bits. What I mean is, I'm going to film when I'm applying my face primer, when I'm applying my foundation, when I'm applying my setting powder, the whole process. Not necessarily the whole process, but most of it, yeah, just so that with each movement comes a new thing. Let me just put it like that. So let's say I move my hand like this. Once I move my hand like this, the next thing you might be seeing are my brows. That's what I mean by with each movement comes a new it reveals something new. Sometimes to help me understand or know what I want to do, I actually write it down. There's no big girl in this. If it will help you better, write it down. Now look at this. I don't know if you can see it. This is what I wrote. This whole steps. Now I have about 19 steps to do. Sometimes I just freestyle it, but anyhow you want to do it, just do it. The cocoa is that at the end of the day, we want to see something that is really, really interesting and very fun to watch. Another thing you need to know is that while you're making these hand gestures or movements or motions, whatever it is that you're doing, you have to do it twice. For example, now for foundation, you have to do it twice. That is one before you apply your foundation and another after you apply your foundation. What I mean by before and after is, before you apply your foundation, you make that hand gesture. After you apply your foundation, you make it again. You're going to do something like this, 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 this. All these things are just hand gestures and body movements and all of that. So chill, we're going to come into that very, very soon. The first thing I'm going to be using is my face primer. So let me just apply my face primer and then let me show you what I actually mean. This is me making the movement for my face primer. So before I apply my face primer, I will do something like this, yeah. This is my face primer as I've applied it. So I'm still going to redo that same hand gesture that I did in the first place. So I'm still going to go up, yeah. And then the next thing you want to do is immediately you finish with the previous hand motion, you want to go immediately into the next one. So it's going to be something like this, up, down, yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to blend this my face primer. After you apply your face primer, the next step you have to do is to do the same thing that you did before you applied your face primer, which is the before and the after that I was talking about. When we do that, we immediately move on to the next step. Let me repeat from beginning to end what I did. One thing you need to also know is that you want to complete the whole set, yeah. When I mean complete the whole set, I mean you do 1, 2, 3, you know, the step that comes immediately after the last step of your face primer application. And I hope somebody's understanding, please. That step, you want to move on to the next step immediately. Let me put it this way: you have to do 2 steps for one product, like I did for the face primer. Now when I went up, I applied my face primer, and when I came down, I blended it out. So that's what I mean using one product to do 2 steps. You need to do every step before and after, and then introduce the next step immediately. There's no time. This is me without my foundation. So let me take it again from the top. So I've done it without my foundation. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to apply my foundation and then do this again. I've taken a video of me without the foundation, and then I'm going to take a video of me with the foundation. So I'm going to do like this again. I like to take more than 1, 2, 3, 5, 1 million moves, just so that I'll choose the one that I prefer. Once I do this, I immediately introduce the next one. Now that I've done this side of the foundation, so I'm going to go in and do that same hand gesture that I did earlier. And then I'm going to introduce the next step, like I always say. So we're going to go like this. Then I'm going to blend my face out. Let's take this whole thing from the top and introduce the next step. I hope I'm not confusing you guys the more. So I hope you guys are following me. Anyways, now that I have blended my foundation, I'm going to introduce another step, which is my concealer. Let me redo what I did before, which was this. Once I do this, I'm going to do this. The next thing is to apply concealer on this part of my face. I'm going to do this and finish off with that step. I've done that. I'm going to blend this part of my face. Now that I've done that, I'm going to repeat the step and introduce the next step, which is, so I blend out this side now. So after blending, I go ahead and repeat the same step. This is the next step. So I'm going to go ahead now and apply my setting powder. You see that I've done a mistake. Oh God. So I have to blend this out. We make mistakes too. So now that I've done this, when I do this, I immediately calm down. When I do this, I immediately calm down, which is the next step. So I applied on the second side, so I'm going to repeat the previous step now. Then introduce the next step, which is this. when I raise my shoulder here, I blend these parts. So we do this again and immediately do this, so that we'll blend out this side. I'm going to repeat this step again and then do this where I'm going to show you my brows. Let's do this again. After I do this, I introduce this. I've done the second brows now, so let's do the second step. Now that I've done this, I'm going to introduce the final step, which is going to bring out the whole makeup look, the final makeup look, which is going to be, so as I do this, the final look, when I'm done with this whole look, I'm still going to do this again and then introduce the final step. So I'm going to take it from the top, which is going to look like how you see the final video from start to finish. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. So yeah, this is the final look. I did not want to use the actual song for the video on YouTube because I don't want YouTube to allow when it comes to copyright strike and copyright claim and all of that. But if you want to see or hear the actual sound for this transition video, you can rush over now to my Instagram and then watch it there. If this video was helpful, let me know in the comment section. Give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it a lot and I hope you learned a lot of techniques and tricks and all of that. So until next time, I'll be seeing you in my next video. So bye.